Hello everyone, this is Diamond Sodi from Canwings Consultants Private Limited. I hope you all are doing well, taking care of yourselves and of course staying home. So today we're going to talk about Australia skills migration again, and specifically I'm going to talk about the skills assessment. Although there are about 35 bodies in Australia that handle the assessments for different occupations, the three major bodies that we or anybody who applies from overseas deals with would be the Australian Computer Society, that's the ACS, the Engineers Australia, and the body that handles the largest number of professional occupations, that is the WERISES. Now the WERISES again has two divisions. One is WERISES Professionals, which handles applications for managers, for other professionals, for ambulance officers, fashion designers, and some technicians and so on. And the other division is called the WERISES Trades. And the WERISES Trades basically takes up applications from tradespersons, from India that is, such as the motor mechanics, such as the electricians and so on. So I'm going to be walking you through some questions that I've been getting from my clients. Sorry, not my clients, from my viewers, and I'll try and answer them so that you people have more clarity and you people have a solid reason to go ahead and start with your skills assessment right away. So the first and foremost question that people do ask is that Australia is closed. So why should we get a skills assessment done? My answer to that question is Australia is not closed. It is agreed that the Australian High Commissions are closed, the student visa is not being processed, visitor visa applications are closed at the time. However, having said that, the skilled migration process, the offshore skills migration is definitely on, and the Australian High Commission is somehow in no way involved in the process directly. First of all, anybody who's applying for skilled migration to Australia needs to get a skills assessment done. That is done by the respective assessment body in Australia. Following that, the state nomination has to be applied for, and that again is applied for within Australia. We apply to the respective state. And once you've got your nomination and get an invitation to apply, then we go ahead and apply for your visa application, and the DHA, that is the Department of Home Affairs, is currently accepting applications for subclass 189, subclass 190, as well as subclass 491. So everything is on for us. There's nothing has really stopped for us. We're on. Okay, so let's get started with the questions people ask. Now, some of these questions might sound a little silly, but I have to take them up because these have been thrown at me, so I have to answer them. Now, the first concern people have regarding the skills assessment, why they feel, this is probably not a good time to get started with the skills assessment, is because they think they don't have an IELTS or PT score right now. So they ask very candidly that हमारे पास IELTS PT नहीं है, so how can we get our skills assessment done? So my answer to that is very clear, that at least the WERISES is one body that does not need an IELTS or PT or any English proficiency score to get on with your skills assessment. Yes, there are some bodies such as the Engineers Australia, such as the bodies that assess academic teachers or doctors or let's say pharmacists and so on. But WERISES does not need your IELTS or PT, so there should be no holding you back as far as getting your assessment done from the WERISES. The next question some people do ask is that maybe they've gone through the online checklist, so they know that, in order to prove your employment and other things, you do need some notarized documents, or you need to come up with some stat text, which of course, needs notarization. So they like to know that how they're going to proceed with it when the notarization is not possible. So I'd just like to tell you here that I believe that the WERISES is aware of the challenges people are facing on this front, and I'm pretty sure they would be able to recommend some alternate documentation, or probably hold on to your application until you are able to arrange for this documentation. This is something they'll be looking into on a case-to-case basis, and they definitely do seem committed to complete the assessment process within the prescribed time frame and not hold up your application for want of some insignificant documentation. Now the next question is that people have concerns regarding verification, that they're probably involved, that in in some cases, or in a large number of cases, some sort of verification is usually conducted into their claims of employment. So given the fact that at this time, there can be no physical verification done, so how is it going to be possible for the skills assessment to be completed? So let me tell you from my own personal experience, many of our clients who applied through our consultancy have been verified in the last few days during the lockdown period. They've been either contacted telephonically, or their referees have been contacted through email, and they've been given an opportunity to explain their roles. And besides this, they probably do have their third-party processes in place through which they can obtain information about your organization. So definitely verification is not one aspect which is going to be a deterrent in the finalization of your application. So another question somebody had asked me, and asked me rather emphatically, was that since the universities in India are closed, how are the assessment bodies going to assess their qualifications? Now, it's not something like the assessments bodies physically visiting the universities with your qualification and asking them whether it's genuine or not. They have their guidelines to refer to. There is an Australian qualification framework which they usually refer to, and they are aware of your university, of the kind of division you have, the kind of qualification you've obtained, and they're usually aware whether a specific qualification will be acceptable or not. So that'll be taken care of. You don't need to worry about that. And the next question a lot of people ask is that everything in Australia is closed for 6 months, some people say for 9 months or whatever. So let me please tell you that like I just shared with you, that skills assessment is definitely on. It is not closed. Whether we're talking about subclass 189 visa, 491 visa or 190 visa, the processes are absolutely in place. And in fact, it is a little unfortunate that we had to be in this lockdown situation at a very unfortunate time, that is the month of April and May. Simply for the reason that the migration plan for Australia is rolled out on the 1st of July. And following the announcement of the migration plan, the states start accepting applications for the occupations which are in demand in their respective states. However, the nomination is something only those applicants can avail of, those who already have a positive skills assessment. So normally we see the month of March, April as a very busy month in terms of immigration, because a lot of people are applying for migration to Australia just because they want to be sure that they have everything in place, the skills assessment with them by the time it's June, mid-June or June end. So we still have a lot of people, those who are very, very serious about relocating to Australia. And they are, yes, they have started their process with us. And I strongly urge you to not wait for the lockdown to be over, because if you're waiting for the lockdown to be over, unfortunately, it may be just too late for you. Since everything is online and everything is on, both at our end and at the immigration departmental offices end, there is no reason why you should not begin your process right now. So for any questions, please feel free to drop in a message on Facebook or YouTube, or send us your emails, your CVs on canwings@gmail.com, that is CAANWINGS@gmail.com, or give us a call on 78498. We'll be very happy to look at your questions, look at your CVs, and give you free consultation advice on your eligibility. And please look at it very seriously. Look at skills assessment as the first step towards your migration journey, and without delaying any further, also understand the urgency of getting started right now. So with this, I come to the end of my video today. Wishing you all the best. Stay safe, keep following the government's lockdown guidelines, and we'll meet again soon. Until then, bye-bye.